Hello and welcome to today's video. Today I have a bunch of myPAPERCLIP products. These are provided by myPAPERCLIP Australia, who I've been really grateful to collaborate with on a range of reviews and things over the last little while. And I have a range of their products to look at today. I'm going to go into a little bit of detail about some of them. I'm going to just show a couple of them because these, for instance, the Wellness Journal and the Productivity Journal, these are going to get their own video once I've been able to use them for a number of weeks to sort of get a real sense of how they kind of work. I'll come back to those in just a little bit. But we've got some other products here, so let's get started. So we'll start here with the myPAPERCLIP Memo Book Companion. So this is a pocket notebook set. Let's open it up. So it comes in simple, clean, cardboard packaging. I'm liking that. I'm liking the recyclability of all of that. And then we have here the cover, and it comes with a pack of 3 of these ruled memo books, 90 by 140 millimeters, and they're ruled, and the pack of 3 of these retails in Australia for around $29.99 for the pack of 3. Obviously these come with the notebook, but you can buy them separately, of course, to refill. So here is the cover. It is a vegan leather cover from an Italian maker, and it's very nice. It's got a simple little pocket on the back. The branding there, myPAPERCLIP. I'm not sure if that's going to be in focus, but myPAPERCLIP there. And it's very simple. You open it up, some pockets on the inside. It's got a linen or a material sort of liner, and then the notebook slips into the back pocket there. It is a nice sort of tight fit to hold it nice and secure, which is excellent. And yeah, it's really good. I've been using this, carrying it around, taking notes and things as I go, and it's holding up really well. These vegan leathers do tend to hold up really nicely. They don't sort of mark too much or anything like that. The notebooks themselves are sewn bound with nice rounded corners and all of those kinds of things. And I'll just give a quick little rundown here on the paper test that I've done. So I've just written with a range of fountain pens and some other bits and pieces. So I had a Lamy All-Star Extra Fine with Lamy Blue, a Hongdian C1 Fine with Lamy Black, Ackerman Deep June Water Blau in Aurora Optima Fine, Diamond Sherwood Green, Pelican M1000, Pilot Black in a Pilot Kakuno Medium, Pilot Roshizuku Shinkai in the Pilot Sterling Medium, then a Wingback ballpoint pen Uniball Zento. I then had the Artline Fine Liner, a Kaweco Gel Roller, bit of a highlighter, a 2B 0.7 mechanical pencil there, and then Sharpie. And you can see on the back, the Sharpie has come through. There's a couple of spots where the heavy inks, the heavier mediums and things have started to come through, and maybe the gel roller just ever so slightly. But generally speaking, the paper has held up really well. myPAPERCLIP do use really good quality sort of natural papers, and this is a nice sort of version of that. It's smooth, it's got a tiny bit of texture, nice gentle line rule, very, very nice, very usable. And I think this companion set, the entire set, retails for $84.99. It comes in a range of different colors, black, brown, blue, green, which I have here, and red and tan. And it's 105 by 148 millimeters there. I should say each of the notebooks has 64 pages of 80 GSM paper. So, it's good. It's a really nice product. This would make a really, really great little gift for someone, and coming into this time of the year. There's a bunch of retailers that sell them. I'll link to each of these products at Pole Prediction, just because that's a nice, easy Australian retailer. But yeah, I think this set would make a really lovely gift for someone. It's a handy size. It's nice, sort of nicely presented. Really great product, and something I'm really excited that myPAPERCLIP has gone into. Next, we'll look at this. This is the Executive Series hand-drawn hardcover notebook. This retails for $29.95. Now, the cover is quite a shiny material. $29.99 is a really good price for a hardcover notebook that uses quality paper like this. myPAPERCLIP, as I said, choose materials that are Really, really good. So it's originally an Indian company, and a lot of their products are made in India, like this notebook. But the Australian arm, myPAPERCLIP Australia, has been bringing in these really beautiful high quality products into Australia. So this is A5, so 148 by 210 millimeters, which is 5.83 by 8.27 inches. As I said, it's a hardcover from Novaflex in Spain. And it's very, very nice. And it's a solid hardcover. Now, this uses, once again, the 80 GSM natural shade paper, which I have reviewed in a bunch of notebooks. So you can go back and watch a bunch of others to see sort of more in-depth paper reviews. But I've done writing samples here with the Hongyan C1 Fine with Lummy Black, Gravitas Piston Carbon Black with a medium with Robert Oster Tranquility, getting a little bit of sheen there on that, which is nice. The Pelican M1000 with a fine nib with Diamine Sherwood Green, Pilot Custom 823 with a broad nib, which is not much different to that Pelican Fine, with Diamine 160th Rosewood, which is an ink I'm really loving at the moment. Then the Wingback Fountain Pen with medium nib with Diamine Oxford Blue, the Wingback Ballpoint Pen with the Fisher Space refill, the Wingback Mechanical Pencil 0.9 with a 2B lead, and then the razor test here, which comes up nicely on this paper. Kaweco Gel Roller, Tom Studio Ren, Pentel Floatoon, which is 0.5, which is a nice sort of gel roller again. The Artline 200.4 fine liner, and then a Mont Blanc Irish Green ballpoint for a sort of more standard ballpoint pen. We test the highlighter on that. We see there's no smearing or anything like that. Property of both the ink and the paper. But if we look at the reverse of this, nothing has come through. This natural shade paper is really great. That Pelican M1000, that is a wet writer, like super wet writer, and nothing has come through. Like, there is ghosting, obviously. It's it's coming through. You can see it through the paper, but nothing has bled. This is fantastic paper. I've used this in notebooks from myPAPERCLIP for ages, and I love it. It's fountain pen friendly. It does everything it should do. This is the dotted version, as you can see, so it's a 0.5 dot. It also comes in squared, plain, and a 7mm line rule, which is excellent. There's a few different colors as well of this notebook. It's really nice. The Executive Series notebooks are beautiful, and this hardcover version is great. A couple of the basic features: it's got the back pocket, which is excellent. It's got the elastic closure, which you saw across the front, and the ribbon bookmark. All those things you'd expect from a nice notebook like this, and at a really reasonable price. There aren't many notebooks of this quality at this price point. Now, I'm going to enjoy using this, and I'll report back at another time about sort of like how the binding and everything holds up. But with these sorts of bindings from myPAPERCLIP that sort of lay relatively flat and all that, I've not had a whole lot of issue over the years. The other thing, of course, is a lot of the myPAPERCLIP products, they lean towards sustainability and things like being able to be recycled and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, really cool. The, simple, clean branding. I really enjoy what they do. Now, before we look at the final product, I just will quickly touch on the 12-week journals here. So you can see here, this one is the Wellness Journal, and this is the Productivity Journal. These come in a range of different colors. Like, I think there's like a purple, which I think is called Amethyst, and a blue, which is called Blueberry, and of course the black here, and they all come with like, accented color. These are a collaboration with Rocket Health, and they are designed to both be used in 5 minutes a day. The Productivity Journal for planning, and the Wellness Journal for things like mental, physical, and emotional well-being. I'm going to go into these in more detail. I am. Firstly, I will say 80 GSM natural shade paper, just like the beautiful hardcover notebook here, A5 size, so just under A5, so they're 140 by 205, I think, millimeters. So just slightly shorter, but in that ballpark. We'll still fit in most A5 covers if that's sort of what you're after. These each retail for $24.99, which I think is a really great price. I'm just going to do a quick, I haven't started using these yet, but this is the basic sort of setup for the daily log in the Productivity Journal. So you get space here for the, your priority list, goals, a timeline here, which I think is fantastic. So for planning out your day, rate your productivity for the day, little reminder section, and then a brain dump page. This is a really great setup, and there's enough here for 12 weeks, which is fantastic. And it's the same kind of layout all the way through. It's really simple, but it gives you everything you kind of need. Priority list, or as I would make use of this probably as a task list, and then the actual planning, and then the brain dump page is great. Getting things off your mind is half the problem. For me, at least, I always carry a notebook around, something like the Memo book here from myPAPERCLIP, and I just take notes as I go through the day. And then at the end of the day, or the next morning, depending on when I have time, I can transfer that into different lists. So if they're about particular projects, I can put them into my traveler's notebook for this, or I can put them into, my Hobonichi for whatever, or transfer tasks to my to-do app, which I really enjoy. This brain dump is great for that. This incorporates all of that into one. Now, as I said, this is 12 weeks worth. So if you're going to use this for the year, you'd need a number of these, but it's the 12-week journal, and if that's something you're after, this is a really, really fun and very good option. And as I said, with really nice quality paper, it's great to write on, and it performs really, really well. I will come back to that after I've used that, so we can see more detail. The wellness journal here, this is beautiful. Okay. So this is the daily review. And there's also a weekly and monthly review sections through here that ask you a range of questions, like what did I learn about myself and what could I have done better? It lets you sort of reflect on things like screen time and your energy and all those kinds of things. It's about looking after yourself. As I said, it's about mental, physical, and emotional well-being. The daily review page is what is the goal for today? How did I practice self-care today? So, before and after kinds of things. You can reflect on energy levels, hydration, sleep, screen time, meals, exercise, all those kinds of things. Then the space for thoughts or doodling. So, once again, it's that brain dumping free space, which is great. What went well today and what could have been better. So at the end of each day, being able to sit down and reflect on your day. Think about what went well. What do you need to do better? And it's often through reflecting on these things and even things like gratitude that we can, really start to see how these patterns and how our decisions reflect, our progress through the day and through our life. So really, really looking forward to looking into these in more detail and using them and enjoying them. I'm a big advocate for journaling for mental health and, sort of well-being. So and also for, productivity. I've done a number of productivity reviews and my own systems and things over the years. Really looking forward to getting stuck into those, and they will come back in a little while after I've had a chance to look at them. And then, of course, the last product for today is this. This is the watercolor sheets. I still got them in the plastic because they're single sheets. And this is awesome. I am so excited that myPAPERCLIP have brought out watercolor paper. There's a few different products. So this is the A5, which is 24 sheets of 240 GSM, 20% cotton, cold pressed paper. So it's A5 size, which once again, 148 by 210 millimeters. Down here it says cold pressed, long life, acid free, recyclable, and biodegradable. These retail at this size for $14.99 in Australia. Made in Italy. Beautiful, simple, clean packaging. I love this. This is like, this design there. I think that's beautiful. I'm an artist, and I use watercolor paper to do ink art. And so when myPAPERCLIP said they'll bring this out, I said I would really love to look at that. So this is the A5 version. There's also an A4 version, which comes with 16 sheets for $16.99, and then an A6 travel journal, which I love the idea of. I'm going to have to get my hands on one of those, which is wire bound with 24 pages, and that's $14.99 as well. So amazing, great little range. If this goes well, I'm hoping they continue to bring out more sort of art and or art-inspired products. But let's have a look at one. So I took one out here, and I've done a few little writing samples and things on it. So as I said, myPAPERCLIP watercolor sheets, A5, 240 GSM, 20% cotton, cold pressed. Now what I've done is I've done a range of things that I would normally use these for. So Lamy black ink, which I then, I did a little line and dots and then hit it with water, and you can see it moved that around. That is a water soluble ink, so that does move around on watercolor paper, which is what I like to do with it. And then I use an autographic liner and did the lines. Now you can see a bit of shadowing. That's just the remnants of the Lamy black, because they were done basically one after the other. The actual graphic liner there hasn't moved at all. So this is good quality paper. It writes well on it. It holds water very, very nicely. It's like it hasn't crinkled through any of these. So these are two Winsor Newton watercolor pigment colors. And then that's a Robert Oster Kelp Forest ink, which I then hit with water, and you can see how much that moved around and spread and disappeared. You can see how it promotes the shading of those, like particularly the ink, where we've got the heavy shading and then the lighter shading, and then beautiful sort of like light and shade within the watercolor where it's pooled and things like that. This was a Kakimori marker with a Kakimori ink in it. That hasn't moved around with water either. Sharpie, for Sharpie's sake, and then 2B pencil and did an eraser test. It comes up nicely, even though it's a textured paper. I do like the texture of this paper. Like it's good on the back. Nothing has come through except for a spot of the ink where I put down a big drop of ink there, and that one little dot of that has come through. So if using watercolors, if you wanted to, you could use both sides. What I like to do is I like to do an ink drawing using like normally what I would do is something either like an ink wash and then draw into the ink wash using an ink or a graphic liner or something, or do a simple graphic liner sort of drawing and then watercolor with either ink or watercolor paint, watercolor the details in as I go. So this paper holds that really nicely. It keeps the lines quite defined in the watercolor ink, which I like, and the standard ink. Only on that heavy spot do we see any sort of actual feathering of it. But it moves ink around well, but then holds permanent inks beautifully, and pigments and things like that. Even the Sharpie, that didn't come through at all. Like you can sort of see it through but it didn't actually come through. Actually, the way the light is hitting this at the moment really shows off the texture of the paper. It's not an unpleasant texture to write on. You can see there, it's sort of a, like the lines aren't sort of wavering and things through the texture. It's really enjoyable. I'm a big fan. As I said, I use watercolor paper for a lot of my ink, and I'm going to enjoy using this, and I'll probably try and, as I say, get my hands on one of those A6 travel journals. So the paper's made in Italy. It's high quality, heavyweight, not super heavyweight, like, it's 240 GSM, but it performs absolutely beautifully. So that was a bit of a look at some of the latest products here from myPAPERCLIP. We've got the beautiful watercolor sheets, that fabulous Memo book companion sort of set, the productivity and wellness journals, which I'm really looking forward to making a dedicated video about, and then the hardcover executive series notebook here. Really well priced items, beautifully made, great quality paper, and a company that's really keen on sustainability and being environmentally friendly, but also providing super, high quality products that are well thought out. So thank you for watching, and a big thank you to myPAPERCLIP for providing these for me to show you. If you want to follow the links down below, there's the links, of course, to myPAPERCLIP, but also to Pole Prediction, which sell a range of these products as well. So please like and subscribe, hit the notifications button, all that kind of stuff. If you've got products you think I should be looking at, or if there's a way you'd like to support the channel, I would really love to hear from you. In the meantime, enjoy your products, enjoy writing, and I'll talk to you soon.